brother. This is Brother Hot Tim, and I'd like to welcome you to the journey, to the journey, to the journey. Here we go.
Free in theory.
Once again, this is Brother Hot Tim, and I'd like to welcome you to the journey. This is my first time with the mic, and I'm excited about using it. I tried to do something on Friday, but it appears that my daughters had different plans. They plotted and stole my mic cord, so I wasn't able to plug in. So hopefully this is sounding good to you, and it feels good to get up on this mic. At first my energy was low, but as soon as I turned the mic on, my burst of energy came back. So I'd like to welcome you to the journey. This is Brother Hatem once again coming to you live and direct from the Shisha Lounge at 2369 North High Street. Man, oh man, it is good to be here, and I'm glad you joined me. I can't wait to see how this mic sound, because I take a big push of my little income and spend some money to get a mic so I can give you the quality sound that you deserve, especially on Freestyle Fridays. On my other shows, I usually use my Bluetooth mic, and it's been alright, but I wanted to make sure that I'm able to produce quality sound so that you can hear. As you know, I'm in the Shisha Lounge and it's live up in here. I got people around. I got the music playing in the background. So this is the test for this mic. For those that want to know, I'm using a Blue Snowball mic. They're about $70 to $80. The test, my initial test was good, and I'm going to see how this turns out. I wish more people was here so I could do an interview, but it's not that way. I had to check the mic, make sure the settings was right. For those that are trying podcasting, setting 1 on it allows you to do individual talking, like I'm doing right now, podcasts. If you was on Facebook and chatting, or you was on Google Hangout, this mic will be able to, you will be able to use this mic. It's plug and play. You don't have to download anything. It's a USB mic, and hopefully the quality will come through on this show. Now, so first, as I usually start off, I want to send out love to those things that I love because they support me. And first off, I want to send out shouts once again to the Shisha Lounge for providing me with my coffee, and also a place where I could come and do my show and not really be looked at as crazy, because people, when you go to a lounge like this, is a bastion for people who think differently and do different things. So you have people sitting down doing some serious gaming, and then you have some people just smoking a hookah and having good conversation. So I would suggest, for any of my listeners out there, if you need a place to do some work, or you need a place to do some thinking, a Shisha Lounge will be an excellent spot for you to go to. And I suggest Shisha on 2369 North High Street. Come on out. I'm out here right now, and if you show up from the show, I'll get you a cup of coffee, or maybe even go in and get you a hookah if that's what you want. But I welcome you out. Also, I want to send out shots to Oxy Water. They're going to be coming back soon, so you stay tuned, and you heard it here first. Oxy Water will be back. You know what I'm saying? I missed it. I have people calling me asking what happened, and to Oxy Water and all that. I don't know a lot about that, but what I do know is the product is a good product, and good products will always return because they had a nice customer base and was growing. And so now I'm just waiting for the return, especially for that Oxy Water Black. That was my drink of choice. I had people calling me, asking me where they could get some, and if I had an underground supply, because at one time I had a whole bunch of this stuff, but my supplies have dried up, and it's sort of like having a drug or something right now. Anybody that got some, you got yourself a commodity. So go on, make your come up. I ain't mad at you. Next, I want to send out shots to Unidad Capoeira under the leadership of Monitor Dentista. Right now, the school is jumping off in Cleveland. They just had practice here in Columbus. This afternoon at 1:30 at the Millennium Community School. Then they also have classes in Cleveland. Just look up Unidad Capoeira or look up Dentista Guk. That's Dentista GUC. You can follow him on Facebook, and he'll give you information. You get in contact with him. He'll give you information about where the school is and when we having workshops. We got a workshop coming up in March for the Arnold Classic. There's going to be a performance as well as a workshop, and I even think that the maestro will be coming down. I want to send out shouts out to Orange 82. You heard some of their music at the opening of the show. It felt so good to be able to start my show off in a way that I usually start off and not worry about it crashing because my little machine couldn't handle the Bluetooth at the same time with the music. So here we go. So send the shouts out to Orange 82. You can find them at orange82.com. I call it surfing music. It's electronic music though, but I call it surfing music because when I'm up late and I'm trying to find something on the internet or doing some research, it's good to put on the type of music without lyrics that just keep you moving. So I send out shouts to Orange 82. Also, I want to send out shouts to New Harvest Cafe, who keeps the culture alive in the community. You go for the food and stay for the vibe. It's a beautiful place, beautiful environment. You can find them at 1675 Arlington Avenue on the north side of Columbus. When you're in Columbus, stop by and say give Quojo a piece and a sign that you in support of what he's doing. They're doing some urban farming. They're doing community plays. They're doing a lot of stuff up there to keep the community alive. So go on and give them some support. I ain't just talking about patting them on the back. I'm talking about buying some sandwiches, making some donations, going to some shows. Do what you can because they're doing what they can. It's a large group of talented people that show up around there. And when you want good conversation, also you go up there as well. So also I want to send out shots to the Magic Hour. You know, the show is brought to you by the Magic Hour, and this is a show hosted by DJ Kid Magic Rock. The Magic Hour is on my radio station, and the show's name is Magic Hour. We just dropped the new show this morning, so check it out. We're about 6 shows deep, and the hits are going up every time, so I appreciate everybody that's supporting it. Check it out. Check out what's going on with some of the hip hop in Columbus. Kid Magic has a collection of artists that have been coming through his studio over the last 20 years, and he's sharing all these artists' works and giving them a venue through which they can share what they create, because I think it's a shame that we got all these talented people that's going to these studios, investing their money and their talent, and don't have a place to showcase that talent. So we wanted to come up with a space for them to do that, and lo and behold, I got a speaker station, not just a show. I got a station, so I'm trying to put up as much talent as I can. So check out the Magic Hour, show your support, and also let me hear your comments. Also, I want to send shots out to my website, www.gyemejourney.com. That's GYENYAME journey.com. You go there, you can find my books, you can find my blog, and you can find a link to all my shows at the top tab at the top. And one of the shows in particular I want to talk about, well, better yet, let me give you the station. You go www.spreaker.com/user/Hatim, HA2TIM. Check that out. Or you could just go and just go to any one of my pages on Facebook or Google Plus or Twitter, and I will put up a link, and you will be able to get there right away and you can check out all of my shows. I have several shows. I have On Mile 3, which is a fitness rant show, where I run 3 miles and then I start talking. Then I have my daily motivational show, my daily inspiration show called hashtag Give Yourself Permission. And then from there, I also have this show, Giami Journey. Feel free to join me on that. I also have Folk Tales for Grown Folks. So check out one of those shows and let me know what you think, because this is why I do what I do, you know what I'm saying, because I'm sending out the energy and I hope people pick it up. Now, the whole piece behind Giving Yourself Permission is this is a show that I'm experimenting with, because in the mornings I wanted to change some of the patterns that I had in the morning so that I could have a more successful day. So what I started doing was simply, I said I like to talk, and in order to do this show every morning, I have to get up and run. And since I want to talk, I'm going to get up and run. I got to run at least a mile, which I know I could do in under 10 minutes. And I also meditate for at least 15 minutes. But actually, my personal rule is 10 minutes prior to running. Then I run, and then I'm able to do my show. And then on the show, I give inspirational thoughts on giving yourself permission, because I know there's a lot of people are waiting for something. So since you waited for something, I'm going to give you instructions on to give yourself permission to move forward and be successful in your life. All right, so check that show out. And I also want to put out there, before I move on to my major content, I'm challenging everybody out there to get your own Spreaker station. I'm challenging you out there to get your own blog. I'm challenging you to share more inspirational content on your Twitter feed and on your Instagram and on your Facebook page. Because it's good. Some of the stuff is on there is all right, but I want us to start really vibing towards making 2014 our year, and a 1 year out of many. Because what's going on in the world today could be looked at two ways. Because I see it, I'm constantly caught in this dualistic mind state where I could see the beauty of what's happening, and then I see the horror of what's happening. And my piece is, I want to move the world towards the beauty. I see where the world can be heading, and I see the opportunities that's laying there. But the issue is, we have to have a collective, a conscious group moving towards it. Conscious individuals. I don't give a damn whether you like the group or not, but we need a certain level of consciousness to be able to bring to the forefront the beauties of what the future can bring, rather than the horrors. Because as humanity, we have advanced in every field possible except the spirit. We have allowed our spirits to become hungry, and because our spirits are hungry, we are able to do devastating and deadly things to ourselves and to others in the world. So let's move towards that positive side. Let's move, or at least let's keep it balanced. Shit, you know what I'm saying? I want a better world for my children. I got babies. I got plenty of babies, and I want to make sure that they are able to reap the benefits of all the technological advances that we had. But I don't want them to be buried by the madness and the technologies that are out there. I want them to be able to express themselves and to live a comfortable life. And I want that for myself. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying eliminate all the struggle. I'm not saying eliminate all disease. I'm not saying eliminate all hunger. But we can eliminate enough of it where majority of humanity is living well. And I have faith that once enough of humanity is living well, we will turn around and we will help the rest that are not living well. You know what I'm saying? We can't allow ourselves to be brainwashed and to sink into a bestial nature that I think the media and some of these conglomerates is trying to get us to total servitude. You know what I'm saying? They want us to be beast of burden, and that's it. And when we could be vessels of creation, they would rather have beasts of burden. And the question you have to ask yourself: are you going to be a beast of burden? Are you going to be a slave to the economic system as it is now, to the world system as it is now? Or are you going to be a bringer of hope, a bringer of peace, an innovator, a thinker, a job creator? I mean, it's a simple choice for me. I want to be on the other side of the equation. I want to be able to create the jobs. I want to be able to share my creativity. I want to be able to build towards something greater and bigger than myself that will live longer than I am here. And I will hope that my listeners out there are of the same ilk. So moving on, because I'm going to make this show quick. You know, you're like, wow, you ran it for 16 minutes talking about you're going to make the show quick. But hey, that's what happens when you got your own show. So, legalization of marijuana. That's one of the things that popped up on my screen. Legalization of marijuana. Now, I want you to think about that. Now, marijuana was legalized in Colorado. Yeah, in Colorado. And in the first couple of weeks, they already have sold $5 million worth of weed. Now, considering that the government is going to get 25% of it, I think that's a pretty good trade-off. You know what I'm saying? Now, you got people arguing that drugs like marijuana should be legalized. Now, this is my piece here. This is America. People should have the freedom to live their life or destroy their life. That's their choice. You know, government trying to mandate certain things oftentimes don't do nothing but force things underground, which makes it worse because it's hidden. And those things that grow in the dark often grow into beasts that we cannot control, and presents opportunities for those people that live in the dark and thrive in the dark to become bringers of destruction. I'm for the legalization of marijuana, not for necessarily the recreational use. Now, people are celebrating the fact of the recreational use and the freedom that has been given in Colorado. People are saying it's their right to be able to smoke marijuana, and in a lot of ways I agree with them, but I think that they may be approaching an argument from the wrong way. Now, in my readings of one of my favorite books, The 48 Laws of Power, one of the laws states, never remind a person of a debt. Nobody wants to repay a debt. What you must do is to show the person or the organization how, by giving you what they owe you, how it will benefit them. Now, I think that a lot of times, a lot of people are approaching the marijuana argument in the wrong way. The smoking part, the weed part is a small byproduct of what marijuana can actually do as a plant. We need to approach it not from the recreational standpoint. We need to approach it from the hemp standpoint, the actual whole plant and the usefulness that it can bring to the society. I would bet that the benefits that hemp can bring to the American society outweighs all of the dangers that the drug use would bring. Now, let's look at the hemp plant that is illegal in the sense to grow in America unless you have a special license. Let's look at some of the benefits of hemp. Now, in the small research I've been doing, hemp, first off, hemp is a potential billion-dollar industry, and some people estimate $1 trillion industry. And I'm not even talking about the recreational smoking use. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, that's a small percentage of what this plant can do. Now, it can be harvested and used for housing, food, nutrition, fiber, and fuel. It has an estimated 50,000 industrial uses. We're talking about one plant, 50,000 uses. Now I want you to think about this. They say that 1 acre of hemp produces enough fiber to replace 3 acres of cotton. And it only takes 120 days for it to come to full maturity so that it can be used. You don't need to use herbicides and pesticides because the hemp plant fights off all that stuff itself. Now, hemp, it said that hemp can be eaten. It can be used. I mean, it's a food source. It's a major food source. It's high in protein. It provides minerals and amino acids that the body needs. I mean, this plant is ridiculous, and in what it can be used for. It could produce plastics. It could produce oils that could be used and burnt as fuel, as diesel fuel. It can build. It could be used. It builds. The fibers can be formed to make boards that are stronger than wood and don't rot, fire retardant, and that it could be added to concrete to make the concrete more durable. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting up here looking at all these things that can be done with this simple little plant that has been made illegal. Think about this. You could make paper from this shit. You know what I'm saying? Not only can you smoke it, you could roll it up in paper from itself. I mean, give me a break. I mean, we got a basic commodity that grows naturally and could grow almost anywhere that could replace all the forests that we've been tearing down. It could make plastic as strong as steel. As a matter of fact, if you go on YouTube, you could look up Henry Ford's use of marijuana or Henry Ford's use of the hemp plant. He produced a car that was mainly made out of hemp, and the plastics that was used, that was produced from the hemp plant, was as strong as steel. We talking back in the early 1900s. So with our modern day technology, I just want you to imagine what possibly could be produced using this plant. The plant is good in certain medicinal uses. The plant, once again, is a food. You can make flour out of it. You can consume the seeds. You know what I'm saying? You can use the oil from the plants for body oil, or just as oil that you take internally to help your body work better. You can live up under it. I mean, we got one plant that could provide housing, transportation, food, and fibers that you make your clothes out of. One plant that does all this shit, and we made it illegal in America. It just, you know what I'm saying? It's amazing that America is the powerhouse that it is, with some of the stuck up and scary views that we have about certain shit. It's just ridiculous. Think about this. You have people out of work right now, and we got all these industries that we be going to, alternative fuels, and we got plants out there like cannabis. How many jobs could be produced with people growing and learning how to process this plant? You know what I'm saying? How many jobs are out there? How many homes could be built on marijuana? I know y'all don't like that word, or hemp, and we're just sitting around fighting it and worried about the small aspect of the smoking this shit. Now, what's even doper about it is they have produced hemp that don't even produce the THC, or low levels of the THC, where you have to smoke damn near whole field to get high, and we still have not legalized that shit. You know what I'm saying? There's just some things in America that's just so puzzling. I mean, and they could just tell us anything. Like, I'm concerned that next week they're going to make shit illegal. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be illegal to shit. You know what I'm saying? Because we just so scared of just simple things that we can actually do to make this world better. So, you know, I want you to think about that. And I want you to, you know, if you know congressmen or whatever, write your congressman or whatever. We need to legalize. We don't legalize hemp. You know what I'm saying? If we don't legalize hemp, we need to at least legalize industrial hemp. We don't have to worry about the smoking part of it. We could legalize just the industrial part. You know what I'm saying? And if we could pass it for them to allow people to smoke the shit, so be it. That's something else they could tax. I mean, this is what I'm saying. Instead of hitting an argument from the standpoint of, it's my freedom and it's my right to be able to smoke this plant, why don't you hit motherfuckers where they like to be hit? Hit them in their pockets. Tell them how much money they could produce in taxes from legalizing this one plant. Just how much money in taxes. You know what I'm saying? We have a major issue in the government now where they don't know where they're going to get money to fund a lot of shit that they doing, from the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, to all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? This is one potential, not only job producing commodity. This is not only one job producing thing that we could use, but it's a tax base as well. Because those people that sell it, I mean, think about it. In Colorado, we ain't even talk about industrial hemp. They are willing to take a 25% hit on taxes. That shit is a crime. But they're willing to do it. People are willing to pay the price to smoke weed and pay a 25% tax. That means on every dollar that somebody spends on weed, the government and the state, local, and federal government, probably not the federal government, they probably ain't getting that money, but the state and the local government are receiving 25 cents. How many roads can they fix? How many hospitals can that help take care of? How many after-school programs can that fund? I mean, just simple things like that we need to really start looking at and get the stick up out of our asses and start really looking at the world as it is today and stop romanticizing about how things were. You know what I'm saying? How things were are forever gone. Once we heard Amazon talking about delivering shit to your house with a drone, you should know that shit is different. It's a lot different, and more than likely, unless something super catastrophic happens, it will never go back to the way it was. So we need to embrace what we are and get the best use out of everything that we could get. As the song goes, legalize it. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't want to legalize that, legalize the industrial. Let's work on it. I mean, because I have a vision of having a couple of acres of industrial hemp growing myself. Now, I'm not a weed smoker. I used to smoke weed, but I stopped smoking weed a long time ago. But the issue that I'm saying is, if I got a product that I could feed, clothe, shelter, and transport my family with, why wouldn't I want to get involved with that shit? Why wouldn't I want to have 2, 3, 4, 5 acres of this shit growing to make money and to be able to use some of that to keep my family healthy and wealthy and wiser? Now, I ain't even talking, and I know some of y'all out there stuck on that smoking shit, but get off of that. Let's get off of that. I'm hitting it from the hemp angle. You know what I'm saying? And those people that want to smoke it, more power to you. You know what I'm saying? But let's push through on legalizing the uses of hemp rather than just the recreational. You know what I'm saying? Because once you get it in with the industrial piece, people will be more accepting of the recreational use because they'll be working and they'll have money in their pocket and they won't have to be worrying about the boogeyman or the boogeyman weed smoker, because a lot of the motherfuckers that's smoking weed may have a job working with weed. You know what I'm saying? So this is Brother Hot Tim. I'm going to end this show and I'm going to say thank you for tuning in. And of course, this is Giami Journey, and it's freestyle, but it's not Friday. And I'd like to thank you for listening, and I'm out.